Annie Frey from the Annie Frey Show in this segment. Thank you for being willing to move your time back, being a little flexible today. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Yesterday was your birthday. I forgot all about that.
Yes. Happy birthday at 33 is a lot different than at 21. But
you think?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Kelly?
I had her intro.
You had her intro?
I had her intro.
I did not know that. I'm so sorry.
Good.
So sorry.
Okay.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's the thought that counts, right? It's definitely, yeah.
You could have played Happy Birthday to her. So we're joking about this. Not joking, but we're talking about a minute ago because you're thinking of maybe somewhere to get away, right? Just with your husband, right?
Our 10-year anniversary.
And I was pointing out, I said I loved our trip to Cancun because like you get on a plane at Lambert. And 2 hours later, or 2.5, you're in Mexico
on your resort.
Or close to it. At least you're at the airport, right?
Yes.
At the amount of time it would take you to get to Orlando or Fort Lauderdale, you're there. Jamaica's pretty much the same way. The flight may be a little longer, but you can get flights straight from here to there. So for my 40th birthday, we went to an all-inclusive in Cancun. Mm-hmm. It was great, right? Took the kids, had a little kids club there where you could put them. So it wasn't adults only, right?
I know exactly what you mean.
Stash them away in there, and they had a great time, right? So the beaches there are like top optional.
Oh, toptional.
They're toptional, and what I didn't realize is that, of course, I'm going to say this, yell at me if you want to. It always seems in that environment that the people that choose to do that are probably not the ones that should. But we're on the beach.
Not the ones that should, not the ones that you would prefer.
Well, there you go.
Difference.
I'm glad you restated that for me because that's really what I meant. And and so we're laying out there, and the place was full of Europeans, and they're usually the ones that end up taking their tops off and laying out on the sand, right?
Old
and my
German
son, my son was, let's see, he's 18 now, so he was 5 years old. So he's running into the water, running back, running into the water, running back. And the lady right behind us plops down, takes her top off, and she lays back in the chair, right? And my wife said, what's Bradley going to do when he sees that? And we watched him for like 15 minutes. He'd run to the water and he'd come back. He'd run to the water to come back. Finally, he runs to the water and he's standing in front of me. And I notice him. I look up and he's just slack-jawed looking behind me.
Oh, no.
What is this? What kind of beach is
Daddy, that girl doesn't have a top on, he says. So that was our experience. Definitely don't go with the kids. That's all I'm saying.
No, there will not be children. God bless grandparents. Oh man,
that's nice. Good for you. Well, we'll talk more about that coming up. But
I will need the non-toptional options.
Yeah, well, don't go to Cancun then. That's for sure. So, on this Cubs story that you pointed out to me earlier, I've talked about this last hour, and I didn't really get a chance to get into it. Cardinal fans hate the Cubs for the most part, and I know there's some Cub fans in town. I'm not sure if what the Cubs did was a nice thing or a not so nice thing. I'm assuming if they handed out World Series rings to all 2,000 of their employees. I had no idea that many people worked for the Cubs.
Yeah.
But of course, these rings are expensive.
Very valuable.
So the Cubs ate most of that expense and only charged the employees like $1 for their rings.
So, well, actually, the way it works is they gave out all these rings. The expense that the Cubs, the Ricketts family, picked up for these employees. So, like, you've got the big shots at an organization, the major league players like, say, a Marc Cox, and then you've got the little peons like Annie Frey in the back corner who are just putting together the digital ads on the website that show up at 971talk.com. Go there right now.
Did we mention that? Yeah.
Yeah. and so, but everybody's moving towards the same common goal. And so what World Series champion organizations will do is recognize the whole team, because it's not just the players on the field who get you there. There's a lot of people who support that in any given operation. So they all got rings. What the Cubs are asking is that if you choose to sell your ring, you need to sign a document that says you will sell it back to the Cubs for $1. What the Cubs don't want is for these people who are, specific. They didn't involve the players in this document about selling it. They basically said the players can kind of do what they want. But if you work in the front office or you're a salesperson or something and you got a ring, we don't want you taking that ring out on eBay and selling it for, anywhere. They said these rings could get anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000 on the market.
The first ever Cubs championship ring.
Yes.
Right.
And there are also different tiers of rings. So the ring that Chris Bryant is going to wear or have is not the same as the ticket rep in the office.
Sure.
But what they don't want, they said that this is something that is to commemorate the event. They don't want these being sold on eBay or whatever. And so what they're saying is they're asking these people to sign a document that says, if you choose to sell this, you are going to sell it back to the Cubs for $1. And there's some scuttlebutt about that, because is it a gift to the employees, or is it like a essentially a loan where they say, here, you get to possess this, but if you're controlling what they get to do with it, then it's not their property.
And if you pass it on to a child or a grandchild or something like that, same rules apply for the new owner. If they ever want to sell it, they have to come and offer it to the Cubs first.
So clearly the Chicago Cubs are not used to handling World Series championship rings. So this is all new to them. So you have to give them a little bit of understanding in feeling out the process of how to handle a World Championship ring. The Cardinals are probably pretty good at it by now. But another reason why the Cubs are saying that this is doable is because the Ricketts family that owns and operates the Cubs they picked up a lot of the tax implications for a lot of these employees.
Sure
so they said, we've done this for you, we've made this possible for you. Please don't go out and sell it.
Because which ring is going to be worth the most? The first one that's sold.
Yes.
Right? And then everybody else they fear would run. If they were thinking of selling it, they'd try to be second, because after that the price starts going down because there are rings on the market that are available. Mm-hmm. So I guess I see what the White Sox did not do this. And I don't know if the Cardinals did anything like that or not, but there was, in this article, it says in 2005, the White Sox won. The organization also handed out diamond-studded rings, 432 of them, but they didn't come with any strings attached. It was viewed as a gift to the employees.
Yeah. The way I look at it, I kind of feel like if you were thanking Jim Bob in sales for all the tickets that he's helped sell over the course of time, are you really so interested in micromanaging how he sees like that possession that he now has? Are you saying that he's helped contribute to this effort? Because if you are, and you're giving him this thing out of gratitude, do you trust him to do what's best for Jim Bob in sales, selling it or keeping it? So, I mean, it is either a possession in your home or the Cubs say they want it back.
Interesting. Because if you think about it, I'd want to take mine and put it in a safe, because 100 years from now when they win the next one, it'll be worth that much more,
108.
Right?
Yes.
108.
Yeah. It's definitely a value, and all 2,000 of them are going to be of value, but the Cubs are really micromanaging the situation.
Yes, they are. Well, congrats to them. You got to act like you've been there, but if you've never been there, what are you going to do? I'm just saying.
You said it.
Annie Frey, thank you.
Go
Thank
Birds.
you so much. Go Cards. And listen to the Annie Frey Show every Saturday from 5 to 7 here on FM News Talk 97.1. You still got our theme music? I do. So listen, this is it. Nice. Listen.
Thank you.
A little country.
This is Rob Schneider's daughter. Making
Making
copies?
Making the copies. Was it the same one that was in that movie?
No,
different. Oh, darn.
Grown-ups?
I was thinking, Grown-ups. I was thinking of that one. No. All right. Rob did pretty good for himself. 314-969-9797. We'll get to more before.